really good. What in Columbus is haunted? Are there haunted places? It's something you may or may not want to think about, but Faith Serafin thinks about it all the time because it's her job. Her job revolves around it. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Faith is a verified ghost hunter.
That's correct. Paranormal researcher, as we like to say.
Paranormal researcher. Okay.
Basically, what our job title is that we go in and document unusual phenomenon that's associated with places that have paranormal activity.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes and no. Yes, on account of the aspect is there, supernaturally. Society's taught us to grow up that way. And no, because I've found a lot of scientific evidence that points to the fact that there could be other issues,
things?
Yes, that pertain to what people perceive as supernatural.
Okay. I grew up being told they were demons.
Yes.
What's your response to that? Are they ghosts or are they demons?
I think that there are negative aspects to everything, and that goes with every part of life. I think there are living people that are negative. Exactly.
Doggone, low down, dirty dog, demons.
Right, exactly. You put it lightly. But I think that particular idea may carry over after death if that is possible. If an energy or an aspect of an energy is real enough, who's to say your personality may not carry over after you pass away, and you may find yourself attached to your loved ones, or maybe they be perceiving your personality some way through your spirit or through your energy.
What's the most horrified you've been, Faith, where you were just scared out of your bejeebies, and you were about to become a serious believer? You said that sometimes you feel stronger than others, but what's the worst haunting place in Columbus?
I would not necessarily say that there is a most haunted place in Columbus. Now, there's been places in Columbus I have been that scared.
What place?
I would probably have to say some of the local cemeteries are a little frightening to me. And it's not so much the aspect of there may be something supernatural involved in that cemetery, but I think it's more contributed to the land itself and what may have been there before.
So what have you seen? Did you see something that made you think that's a ghost, that's a demon, there's something there?
I have actually witnessed some very unusual phenomenon at Port Columbus.
What'd you see?
The first investigation that we did there, we were exiting an area that has one of the bigger, as a matter of fact, it's the largest remaining Civil War artifact, and that's the CSS Jackson. And we heard someone walking on that ship, and very loud footsteps, very prominent footsteps, just like that.
Oh my goodness.
And everybody that was in the group stopped. We turned around to listen, and they continued, and we even called out and said, is that you? Are you doing that? Can you make a tapping sound if that's you? And it would tap. It would tap in response every time we asked.
And this is real. This is real.
This is absolutely real.
What do you make of pictures? You've posted pictures, I've posted pictures, and it seems to be a ghostly figure in the picture. Is that Photoshop? What is that?
Now, the picture that I actually posted is not Photoshopped.
Now, go to our Facebook page and take a look at it.
Right. It's not Photoshopped. We were actually called in by an MP unit from Fort Rucker, Alabama.
The military police called you in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And when we went down there to follow up on the report, we were taking a couple of photographs before we actually left for the location that we were supposed to be investigating and captured that strange apparition. We have no idea exactly what it is, but it is unusual. And we have not conclusively, said that this is, absolutely officially paranormal. It's definitely a ghost, but it is unusual and it's quite strange.
Well, are you ever afraid, Faith, that you might open up a door into another realm? If there is a spirit world that you can't shut, are you ever afraid to be in the paranormal industry?
I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm afraid. We work quite closely with the field of science involving what we do. We're certainly not a Ouija board wielding group by any means, and I think that's extremely dangerous, and I don't think that people should open themselves up.
So you don't sit in and call up the dead and invite them to inhabit your body and speak through you?
No, ma'am. That's not what we're looking to do.
Okay, so people will call Faith Just like you call a plumber and say, I have a plumbing problem, you can call Faith and say, there's something weird going on in my house at night. Let me see what some of the stuff is that you have.
Okay, well, some of the equipment that we have here, and this is just like your basic run-of-the-mill, I guess you would call it ghost hunting kit.
Okay.
Now, the camera that we have here is IR compatible, which means it sees in infrared or night vision. And the panel that's on the side gives it a little bit of extra oomph so that it can actually see in the dark.
Okay.
And what we're trying to find with that is some unusual light anomalies of some sort that may manifest in darkness that we can't see because naturally we need the light
How often
to
do you
see.
find something?
Not very often. It's actually quite rare to document
You know what? I like this interview. You're not trying to hype it up. You're telling the truth.
Absolutely.
You're telling the truth. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. Now, in this particular camera right here, it's been modified. It's actually a night vision capable camera, and it's been modified to see in ultraviolet and infrared light. Now, basically what that does is serves the same purpose as the video camera. It just takes still photographs as opposed to, you know, regular video. Now, and with that, we're looking for the same thing, light anomalies or strange light that may emanate in a particular spectrum that we can't see with our eyes at all.
Well, what is it usually when you go out and someone calls you? Is there a usual answer to it? Is it a squirrel in the attic? Is it a piece of wood that's loose?
Typically.
Or is it something?
Typically, we find that.
Oh.
That's something that we do normally find. About 70% of our cases are explained quite easily. It just takes a very interested person to be able to come into a location and be able to go into an area that somebody is afraid of because they don't have an explanation for what's happening.
Ooh, so, okay, that leaves 30%, Faith.
Right.
The other 30% is what?
It's unusual.
The most unusual.
The most unusual thing that I think, well, I can tell you one of the most unusual report that I've ever heard actually did come from Port Columbus also. And I tell this story on my tour, but a woman was walking through there in broad daylight. This was on a regular daytime trip to the museum. And she walked into the Hartford exhibit. And while she was in there, she saw a man that was sitting within the ropes, thumbing through maps, and he actually gave her the thumb, like, get out.
Can I lay myself bare today? I have seen things. I have seen things, you know.
Absolutely.
And just coming from a Baptist background, we were always told it was demonic, and that is what I believe.
Right.
But
right.
I do believe there's a spirit realm.
Absolutely.
I don't know that I would be in your industry. You know, I'd be afraid of opening that door.
Right.
But thank you so much for giving tickets to the tour.
The overnight event.
Yeah, tell them a little bit about the overnight event.
The overnight event, Parafied is
Parafied.
It's an official ghost hunt through the museum at Port Columbus, and what that's going to do, your ticket purchase is going to take care of your rental fee for 6 hours worth of investigating with one of us. Also, it's going to take care of your equipment use for the night. It's going to give you a discounted coupon for our DVD that we have about Port Columbus, which is a $10 coupon off the total price.
So you get the coupons, you get the tour, and you get to spend 6 hours trying to decide whether or not it is or it isn't. Thank you so much for being with us. I have enjoyed this thoroughly. You must report back and let us know if anybody's found anything.
Absolutely,
Okay?
absolutely.
We are going to announce the winners of the Parafied Overnighter at Port Columbus this Saturday the 25th. Well, still to come on the Dee